Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at some spicy gameplay here with the Drifblim with the new move Mystical Fire is a shiny variant as well as a shadow variant of the Drifloon as an XL variant here as well. Which is going to be an interesting one because Drifblim and Drifloon together can be actually pretty interesting as a backline itself. Also wonder if Mystical Fire really helps out the Drifblim there. We will find out today. Drifloon is still going to have the same moveset that the Drifblim had prior before Mystical Fire was added, so this should be a pretty decent moveset here as well for this Pokemon. Let's take a look here. A player of being shielded from the Azumarill might not be the best one, but let's take a look at this Zapkin coming in here. Not going to knock them out, but we're going to see now the Drifloon in action as you see the Bastion approaching here. Of course, not really ideal scenario here. Definitely not what you want to have against your Drifloon. And actually, Drifloon does take those moves like a little bit better than I thought it would. Like, I mean, it's like a small balloon. Its shadow version doesn't even hit 1500 CP. So I don't know, but like, here we're going to see, though, the Flamethrower coming through going to knock you out and you have to rely on your Drifblim. You can try to farm them all the way down. This is, I guess, the best option that you have here. Maybe you could have also went for the charge move there instead, but now we're going to see the Azumarill coming in trying to snipe you here, which definitely works out pretty well for them. Player of only coming through, and now you rely on knocking out the opponent just with your Drifblim. Sadly, you don't have the Icy Wind, but even with the Icy Wind, you wouldn't have been able to knock them out here because Icy Wind still needs 2 of them to knock them out. But like this, you're not going to be able to win this game. They still had the Bastion in the back there as well, so it's going to be a tough one for the first one. Let's take a look at the next game. We're going to encounter the Skarmory here in the lead. You can go ahead and go for a Zapkin, and that's going to do a lot of damage to them, and that's going to be very decent lead for you in general. I think those battles are a little bit more of the earlier battles for the season as well. I have this submission laying around for a little bit, but I saw other people already showcasing kind of similar stuff, not the same stuff, but kind of similar stuff, so I wanted to leave it for a little bit here at least. We're going to see the perfect matchup for you here right now. Chestnut is going to take super effective damage from Mystical Fire while both charge moves are resisted by them. So that's going to be a fine one, but still it's going to do a ton of damage against you, which I didn't really expect. I'm actually curious on how good Drifblim going to be as an XL variant in the Ultra League. I think that it's going to reach shine, especially with a new move as well. Going to be able to hit, for example, Cobalion now for super effective damage. This might be a Pokemon that is more interesting to take a look at as well than for the Ultra League, but for the Great League, it's a little bit squishier, but we're going to get out another Bastion, which is going to allow you to definitely win this game here now. Because Bastion going to be the biggest answer to the Drifloon, but you can now get rid of it with one Focus Blast. This should knock them out thanks to the prior damage, and this is going to knock them out. In comes the Skarmory, and I don't think that the Skarmory has anything to do here anymore. You're going to go ahead and go for the Drifloon here, hopefully just to troll a little bit, but yeah, you're going to just go for the safe route, go into the Drifloon now, and you can go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball easily going to knock them out here. Based on the damage that you take and based on the damage the Hex is going to do, this should be a one-shot from this range here for sure, and it's going to be the case here, winning you the game. What a way to win this. Next opponent, we're going to see a Medicham in the lead. This is going to be an interesting one as you can swap out into your Drifblim as your Say Swap as we get out the Golbat. Here again, it would be better to have the move Icy Wind, which would have helped you out quite a bit, but we're going to now have to rely on Shadow Ball damage itself. As we're going to let the move go through, it's going to be their Shadow Ball, and you have to go into your Registeel again to knock out the opponent's Golbat. They're still going to get to another Shadow Ball here, so it's going to do some pretty decent damage against you. And it's going to put you around half of your health, allowing you to go for a Zapkin at least here to try to knock them out, and they're going to let this move go through as well. And now it's all down to Drifloon. Can Drifloon carry you here? We will find out shortly. This might be Nice Punch, so it's safe to shield this one. And we're going to get out the Beedrill. It's a Shadow Beedrill as well, allowing you to survive basically all the moves that they can throw at you, and you can debuff them as well as they're going to shield this move up. You're actually going to let this move go through here as well, which is going to be Fell Stinger, which is a great play now by you because it's going to be double resisted. And you can go ahead and debuff them again here. And now you have to try to farm them all the way down. It's safe to shield this one. You don't even have to. I would have shielded this one, to be fair. It's a Fell Stinger. It doesn't matter though. Because you can farm them all the way down. You still have a shield left. You know that the Medicham is energy dry. And you know that this Shadow Ball is going to one-shot them. Boom! Bye-bye, Medicham. Good game there. Lost lead. Still won that one. Great there. Next opponent, a Wigglytuff lead, very decent for you, exactly where you want to face it. You have 2 ghost types in the back, you don't want to face a normal type with those, especially not a Wigglytuff here. Honestly, Wigglytuff is one of the Pokemon where I wish it would get Fairy Wind, because if this Pokemon would get Fairy Wind, you would have another Core Breaker for Medicham, Sableye and Noctowl because of the Ice Beam coverage. And I think that would have been a cool one, but we don't have this update yet, it's still a Charmer. So yeah, we're going to see now the opponent going into a Breloom, which has the move Bullet Seed as a fast move instead of Counter, which is not really ideal. But you're going to now be able to resist all the moves here, and you're also going to get out a Victini. You're going to go for the bait here first, which can be, I mean, yeah, this should be a shield for sure. Like, there's no way that they're not going to shield this move up. And you can go ahead and go now for the Shadow Ball as well, which is going to be very nice for you, as you're going to still have a move start on your Registeel as well, so you can snipe the opponent here with the Zap Cannon. You shield this move up here, knock them out, and you can go ahead and go into your Drifloon afterwards, immediately knock them out with one Icy Wind and win this game here. This should be a pretty clear endgame scenario here for you, and you do exactly that. Go straight for the Icy Wind here. You can let this move go through there. I don't have a move that is going to hit you for neutral damage. They have Seed Bomb, they have Dynamic Punch, they have Sludge Bomb. I think they have Grass Knot theoretically. That's like the moveset that Breloom has as far as I know, so definitely something that you can take pretty easily with all your balloons there in the back. We're going to see the Galvantula in the lead. This is going to be a core breaker for this team, but Registeel is still pretty decent in like neutral scenarios, especially if they go for a Cross Poison as a charge move, which does not make sense at all. Cross Poison being double resisted and also a pretty bad move. Like, you shouldn't really run Cross Poison at all on Galvantula in my opinion. But we will see them spamming those moves. Like, Cross Poison can give you a double attack buff. It's a clone of Night Slash, I think. But it is not going to be really ideal here. You're going to see the Hitmonchan coming in. They did a lot of damage already to your Registeel, which is not really ideal. But you at least can go ahead and go into your Balloon here, which should go for one Shadow Ball here in order to knock them out. The other move would have been a little bit too risky. But here, for example, now, okay, they're going to let this move go, they're going to shield this move up here. You're going to be able to go ahead and go for your Mystical Fire, I think, and farm them down afterwards. So I think that would be the play to go for. Maybe not ideal move timing there, at least. I don't know, they're still going to knock them out anyway, so it's going to be fine. Can you reach another move? You cannot reach another move, which is kind of sad for you because it would have helped you out quite a bit. Oh, never mind, they have Cross Poison, forgot about that one. But they're going to go ahead and go into an Altaria, which is a mistake because you can swap into your Drifloon, and Drifloon going to enjoy this one quite a bit, as this Icy Wind should most likely knock them out here, right? Oh no, it actually does knock them out. You can still go for the full farm down though, and you should be fine to even get to a charge move here, maybe? No, I think the Cross Poison does too much damage. I think you're gonna get farmed down here. Yes, just sadly not enough there, but you can go ahead and go for one Zap Cannon. I think this is going to be enough to knock out the opponent. Going to also get the debuff there, most likely, but yeah, they're going to go down from that one. Galvantula is a very squishy Pokemon, so not surprised about that one. You're going to see a very decent lead for you, and we're going to see a very decent Say-Swap for you as well. It's going to be the Medicham here. I most likely would have went to my other Pokemon because you can take those Ice Punches a little bit better, but actually, never mind, it doesn't really matter. You're going to still be able to easily win this matchup here without a doubt, and you have now the option to go for Icy Wind afterwards as well, which is going to be beneficial for you, but the opponent going to shield up the first move. You're still forced to go for a Shadow Ball here, sadly, in order to realign, so that's a great play to go for that one here. And this is going to be able to knock out the opponent now. In comes the Noctowl, you can still debuff them with the Icy Wind, which is going to be very nice for you, as it's going to put them now also into the range for one. Oh no, actually, they're going to shield this move up for whatever reason. Like, this doesn't really make too much sense, as you kind of still get hit by a Zap Cannon, which does a little bit more damage. And they have Nightshade, because why would you not want to run the move Shadow Ball? I think the opponent just wants to be nice to, like, their opponents there. Just wants to give them some free wins there with the not using of Shadow Ball, just going for the awkward movesets. Actually, I wonder, what is the secondary fast move of Noctowl? I'm kind of curious about right now. Does it have like Steel Wing or something to spice up some stuff? I don't know. But here we're going to see the Stone Edge coming through. You're still forced to go for another charge move here, but this game is already over. Like, I can now still commentate about how crazy this matchup going to be here now for the Registeel, but Nightshade going to do not enough damage to do anything. Nightshade is one of the worst possible charge moves in the game. It's basically what made the Noctowl so much worse before, and since Shadow Ball basically came around, just got it so much better. Honestly, I feel like it would have been better to have Noctowl without Shadow Ball. I think Shadow Ball just makes this Pokemon too strong. I think just having the Ring Attack buff would have been so much better if just Noctowl didn't get Shadow Ball prior. That would have been so much better for the entire meta, but like this, Noctowl is still one of the strongest Pokemon, and it's not really ideal. What's also not really ideal is the matchup against the Dewgong here, because now they're going to have the move Drill Run. Drill Run going to do a ton of damage against your Registeel, as you're going to see here right now. I played this as a Dugong already before, and Dugong actually has sometimes chance to win this in the 2-shield scenario, which is kinda wild. Like, honestly, this Pokemon can be kinda wild, and we're going to encounter now the Sandslash. Or if it was like the other way around, it would have been so much better. If Drifblim would have been in here right now, he would have been able to go for the fire move, but actually the opponent decides to let this first move go through for whatever reason. Ice Punch comes through, you can farm them all the way down. I would just go for the Icy Wind now. Just shield this move up, go for the Icy Wind, maybe try to catch a move, but you can just debuff them all the way. You can just go ahead, again, not the best move timing, you just gave the opponent a free counter. You can go ahead, go for the Icy Wind here. You have to try to catch a move, it didn't work out. Maybe you would have been able to catch a move if you were able to. No, I don't know. But yeah, I see a lot of times not ideal move timing by you, by the way, just in general, not sure if that's something that you're interested in to improving, but there's a lot of times where you just give the opponent a free fast move with your move timing, so just like as a small feedback here, because I also know the player, like I know that this player is giving us some content not for the first time here right now. Just a general thing that I saw during the gameplay, a lot of time where the move timing wasn't really ideal, something that you can definitely improve on if you wanted to. But of course, those are also early battles, so maybe they didn't pay too much attention towards it either. As you're going to see, Scrafty just going to completely annihilate it. Scrafty would completely wall this team if they would just keep this one around, but who needs Scrafty around? And also, who needs to go for Earthquake against the Registeel? We don't need this today, but we can see now that you can go ahead and go for the Focus Burst. They're going to shield this move up, and you're going to go straight into your Drifblim, which gonna get out the Jellicent. That's going to be fine for you. You can just go straight for the Shadow Ball. You have one fast move advantage as well, which is going to be very good for you, but it doesn't really matter anyway, as the opponent going to decide to let this move go through, and now we're going to see why maybe Mystical Fire might be a little bit better compared to the other charge move here of the opponent. And again, here you gave the opponent another free fast move, which you didn't have to do. But yeah, Mystical Fire going to be able to be super effective against Stunfisk compared to the Icy Wind and still gonna get the debuff. Mystical Fire is an Icy Wind clone, basically just as a fire type move, which can be very beneficial here, but we're going to see the opponent going for one Rock Slide now, knocking you out, and you're going to be able to finish up the opponent here with a Drifloon, which I always like to see. Like, honestly, if you run something like a Shadow Drifloon, you kind of want to show that off, right? Like, you kind of want to go ahead and show the opponent here, yes, I'm going to be so dominant anyway. I could have won with the Pokemon prior already, but no, I'm going to show off here my Shadow Drifloon and completely destroy you. It's always the best part of it. We're going to encounter a Pelipper here right now. Pelipper against Registeel is definitely a matchup that Registeel usually wins, but it's actually not as clear either, because Wither Ball is going to add up quite a bit after a while. They can shield up the moves, but luckily you're gonna get the attack drop here, which makes it a little bit easier, because now you can still survive 2 Wither Balls from this range, I feel like. So you don't have to shield at all here right now, and you can get even another shield from the opponent if the opponent wants to let this move go through, or like shield this move up here. We will encounter now that they're going to shield this move up here. That's going to be fine. Double debuffed. You don't even have to shield here anymore. Who cares about shields if they're double debuffed, right? Going to be a Weather Ball, does basically no damage, and we can go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball there. I think you would have... Actually, I'm actually not sure if you would have won CMP here. So you're going to shield up the next one, and in comes an Umbreon. This is not going to be ideal, but luckily you still kept around your Registeel, which has access to the move Focus Blast. And you're just putting the opponent into the range for that. You have to hope that they're going to throw pretty early here, and they kind of throw okay-ish. So you should hopefully still be able to reach the move. You swap out immediately, keep the move alive there. Yeah, I think this was a misplay to force to shield this one. I don't think you should shield this one anymore. But maybe I'm wrong. I am wrong. Okay, never mind. I am wrong. I thought that you wouldn't get there in time. I thought they would get to the charge move in time, but clearly they didn't. And you can now go ahead and go into your Drifloon. I actually would have went into your Drifloon here instead. I don't know if it really works out that well. Maybe you can farm down, maybe it works out a little bit better like this. I wouldn't have went for that because I know that the opponent can farm you down. And you're going to see the Medicham coming in. You can still go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball. This is going to be such a weird endgame now. Let's take a look at this Shadow Ball. Boom, going to knock them out. Can you farm them down? Drifloon is just overpowered. Honestly, Shadow Drifloon, best Pokemon ever. What the game there. That was insane. Let's take a look at the next game here coming up. We're going to see a Sableye in the lead. This is not going to be ideal for you, as you're now going to see the foul play coming through though. But this backline is completely struggling against this Pokemon, unless you have like energy a little bit. And you're going to, then you would be fine, but like this is going to be a little bit tricky. You might actually want to swap out here because you kind of want to keep your first lead alive. Exactly, you're swapping out here. You just have to invest 1 shield here theoretically, but they're going to swap out into the Sand Slash. Do they know about this new move update? Do they know about Mystical Fire? They do not know about this one. And we see a lot of damage coming through. Actually, I thought I would one-shot them because it's double super effective, but I guess the Sand Slash is just a little bit too bulky for that one. But now you're going to be able to knock them out with that, and you're going to be able to realign, which is going to be very nice for you. Let's take a look what's coming in here. It's going to be the opponent's Registeel. They're trying to farm you down, but you're going to still get to another charge move. This is a cool thing about Drifblim and Drifloon. They have a ton of HP, which basically not allows the opponent a lot of time to farm them down. You're going to let this move go through, you're just going to completely rely on your favorite Drifloon there in the back. The Shadow variant is completely going to destroy this Registeel here right now. I want to see the damage of the Shadow Ball, honestly. It's going to be insane here. We're going to see the Zap Cannon coming through. Still gonna get the debuff there, which is not really ideal. And they're going to swap out, but you're going to be able to go for the Icy Wind against the opponent here. You're going to be able to get the knockout against the Sableye. And you're gonna go for another bait here. This is completely unnecessary. I don't really think that you have to do this, and it's going to maybe hurt. You have to try to catch a move, and you can catch a move. If you wouldn't be able to catch that move, it would have been already game over. But now you have to go straight for the Shadow Ball. There's no reason before so to bait there. Like, there was literally no reason for that one. But like this, you're going to one-shot them and win this final game for today's video. If you enjoyed this one, please leave a like on the video. If you also haven't subscribed already, do that as well. There are 2 videos on the screen, check them out if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.